I welcome you to this story, and this one has to do with Joanna, the wife of Chuza, who was uh, the steward of Herod. And his wife Joanna became a follower of Jesus, and the Bible says that she got healed of some affliction. So let's begin. In the shadowed corridors of Herod's palace in Tiberias, where marble floors gleamed under the torchlight, and the Sea of Galilee could be seen beyond its walls, Joanna moved like a ghost among the elite. Her silk robes, once a source of pride, now felt like chains. For years she had endured an affliction no physician could name, waves of torment that twisted her body and clouded her mind, as if caused by some evil power. Chuza, her husband, and the steward of Herod, had summoned every healer in Galilee, every doctor, yet relief never came. Despair had settled in upon her. Then she heard of rumors in the palace about a teacher, a preacher from Nazareth who healed people, and without payment or prestige, divine healing. There were rumors of blind eyes opened, lame legs being strengthened, demons fleeing at his word. Joanna's heart stirred. One moonless night, cloaked in a servant's plain wool, she slipped past guards and rode south to a Galilean village where the crowds gathered. There, amidst the crowd of the poor and broken, she found Jesus. His eyes met hers with knowing compassion. A single touch, a quiet command, and the darkness lifted. Joy flooded her, and she felt like she had almost been reborn. A new life, a new beginning was hers. From that day, Joanna followed. She returned to Tiberias, transformed, no longer defined by affliction of sickness. Her healing had released her, and not just from pain, but from the frivolous things that had marked her life: endless banquets, hollow flattery, and endless pursuit of favor in a court ruled by fear. True wealth, she discovered, lay not in hoarding up privileges of her position, but in giving. It was more blessed to give than to receive, she learned. She began quietly diverting portions of her own resources, jewels sold discreetly, grain from family estates, to supply Jesus and his disciples. Every coin given felt like breathing freely for the first time. Yet there was danger. Herod's court buzzed with suspicion toward the Nazarene, Jesus. One evening, as Joanna passed the grand hall where Antipas entertained officials, she overheard voices raised in anger, criticizing the ministry of Jesus. Jesus had become a target, and Joanna's allegiance placed her in the crosshairs. Her heart raced. Chuza would never understand. Her husband would never get it. Exposure could ruin him if they found out his wife was following the Lord. And it could strip them of their household of favor. Yet silence felt like betrayal. Days later, in the palace courtyard, she heard a group of Herod's officials discussing how to curb the growing rumors of the Galilean Jesus. This Jesus mocks Herod, calls him crafty and unworthy. We should silence his followers before they spread more of this poison. Joanna stepped forward, trembling but resolute. The men were surprised at the steward's wife interrupting their discussion. "You speak of mockery," she said, voice steady despite what she felt in her heart. "But I have seen the truth. This man you call a threat healed me when no one else could. Demons flee at his word. Infirmity vanishes. He offers life, not rebellion." The official stared, stunned. One laughed uneasily. "The wife of Chuza speaks boldly." "Beware, lady. Loyalty to a wandering preacher could cost you dearly." "I have already lost much," she said. "What remains is worth more than palace favor." Word of her defiance spread quickly through the halls, and her husband confronted her that night with fear in his eyes. "You risk everything, our position, our lives." Joanna touched his hand. "I don't know, I just felt dead inside before, and now I feel alive." True wealth is in giving, not grasping. If following him cost me, I pay willingly. In the weeks that followed, Joanna continued her secret support, her public stand a quiet beacon. She met Mary Magdalene by the lakeshore one dawn. The two women from opposite worlds, one once possessed by 7 demons, the other by being in the courts of wealth but feeling empty. They spoke of healing and deliverance, and gratitude of a kingdom greater than Herod's. When the end came, the cross, the empty tomb, Joanna was among the women, spices in hand, in order to be a help. Her journey from the tormented court lady to the faithful witness had begun with a desperate risk and ended in unshakable alliance. In giving her resources, her voice, her very life, she had found what no palace could offer: freedom, purpose, and the treasure of eternity.